once again, a very warm welcome to Flight Sim and other stuff and the news for the 16th of May 2021. And a short programme today, having been a very busy week and finally getting the teleprompter working, I hope. So a scripted show, which will stop me going off track and hopefully getting something out that needs no post-edit. And it might even make me brave enough to stream a show live next week. We'll see. Anyway, what did I find and what did I have a go at this week? Well, how about joining a virtual airline? A flight into Hong Kong, Kai Tak, in Flight Sim 2020. Fancy yourself a Sully? Want something slow to sightsee, a mesh for Austria, and from the world of X-Plane, the ultimate sim setup that requires you to own a real plane. So let's get in to this week's show. So, and the teleprompter's gone skew-if on me straight away. I was doing so well, but I got two teleprompters. I got one up there and one down here. So, well, there goes next week's live show, or does it? So, I want to give a plug to Virtual Airlines. I think this is the natural next step for most people that want to have a purpose to their flying. And it's a great way to enter a social group rather than build an empire alone with one of those business plugins. All the good VAs support the top sims, that's P3D, X-Plane, and of course Microsoft. So there is none of this my sim's better than your sim type stuff. You get to fly real routes and even tours, and most of them support GA flights as well. The one I've chosen was FLyUK, and I've been with them for, I don't know, about 10 years now. And they've got routes all around the world, short haul and long haul. Never done one of those, you know, flying for 6-7 hours across the Atlantic. I don't have that much free time. But they've got those if you want long ones. They've also got a flying club. So, that's the website. I'll put a link, as usual. Links to all of this stuff are going to be in the show notes below. So if you fancy giving a go, drop along, have a look at it. They've got over 1,000 members at the moment, and it's free. Anyway, the reason I started with FLyUK was I've been doing one of their tours, this one. It's around the world in short-haul flights, and I've been doing this with a fellow club member. And we recently did, last week, a flight into Victor Hotel X-Ray Hong Kong Kai Tak. And if you have never flown to Kai Tak before, boy, this is a challenge. Now, we found two airports, or two scenery add-ons for Flight Sim 2020. I downloaded them both. The first flight I took last week was this one from Super Spud. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much I'm going to try this again and again and again and see if I can actually pull it off 100%. I did land. The plane was a little bit damaged, but I did land. Anyway, so two scenery for Kai Tak, Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, and the idea is you're supposed to get to this checkerboard, do a 57-degree churn, and wow, it is really hard, but an awful lot of fun. So that was the first thing I found. Mentioned Sully. All seen the film? Well, if you fancy a go at it, how about downloading this one from flightsim.to, of course. It's the Husdon River emergency landing, and this is one of those missions. So you download it, put it in the community folder, and then go to missions and you fly this. And That's the route you're supposed to take. So far I've hit the water here and I've hit the water there, and I've killed everyone on the plane and written off about £300 million worth of Airbus, but practice makes perfect, so they say. Next on the list, years ago when I was flying FSX, the Air Creation 582 SL. Love flying this. It's got a stall speed about walking pace, and it's great for looking around the scenery. And I used to think FSX looked brilliant. I used to think X-Plane looked brilliant. And next year I'll probably say I used to think Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 was brilliant. But for now, this is the most realistic scenery you're ever going to see, and taking it nice and slow in the Air Creation 582 SL, or the 582 SL Microlight. Great fun. Just a word of warning though, when you're taking off, don't pull the stick back. This is about weight flying. So you push forward on that bar and that shifts your weight back and you take off. Get to the end of the runway with your stick all the way back. You ain't going anywhere. I mentioned this. Wow. You know, the scenery in Microsoft is really good. I don't know what the mesh definition in Microsoft is, but these people have done a 10 meter, and some of these screenshots, you see here the definition of the top of the mountains there, and there's some before and after pictures in here, and let's get to one of them. All of these look spectacular, but unless you compare it to what it currently is, you're not getting a real idea. So there you go. There's the default scenery, and that's what a 10 meter mesh does. And the one that really impressed me most, these I could live with. I mean, both of those look fantastic. But it was this sort of thing. You know, flying down the fields, this sudden drop off as you get to the bottom. This is looking terrific. 10 meters. Now, I understand there's one for New Zealand as well. I haven't downloaded that one yet, but I am currently doing a GA flight around New Zealand with the Flight Sim Club, so I will be downloading that as well. And finally, if you've got an awful lot of money and you've got an aeroplane in the hangar, but the weather's not too good, or you just don't have enough money for the petrol, how about this? Sim your plane. I just find this very amusing. You're rich enough to own a plane, and the weather's bad, and you're a real aeroplane freak. So what do? You buy some boxes, attach them to the plane, put on your virtual headset of choice, jump in the cockpit, and start flying. You know, it's another world for some people, isn't it? But if any of my viewers are rich enough to have your own aeroplane, here's something that'll allow you to fly it whenever you want. Sim your plane. I think that's fantastic. Anyway, until next week, when hopefully it might be live, as usual, enjoy your flying, take care, and goodbye.